Okay, we're back with Silent Running. Here we go. I got the J card here. I do keep all of them. So yeah, this has full-length commentary with the director Douglas Trumbull, actor Bruce Dern. Can't wait to listen to that at some point. The making of Silent Running, an on-set documentary. It's 50 minutes long. 2 video pieces with Douglas Trumbull, a conversation with Bruce Dern, a discussion with the actor, and the original theatrical trailer. I don't know whether I should open these and show you the booklet and stuff, because it might just take too much time to open up the cellophane and stuff like that, so you can just imagine. But I'll tell you what, screw it, let's just do it. I'll just make this video a super long video. Who cares? The film itself anyway is just absolutely brilliant. I loved it. It's kind of has lots of environmental themes to it for sure. Well, that's what makes it good, I think, and also interesting. And there's a lot of it with Bruce Dern, who's the lead actor in the film, who's a great actor, one of my favourites, probably like my top 20 favourite actors. I think he's fantastic, and a lot of the film is just him interacting with these robots, and there's such a weird kind of emotion that comes out of it, I think. And I love the steelbook. The booklet is fantastic, and the inside artwork I love. It's just awesome. Actually, you can take the disc out while I'm here, may as well. This is an in-depth video. After all, here you go, there's him with one of the robots there, or 2 of them, yeah, both of them. Really cool, amazing release, love it. And highly recommend you check it out if you're a fan of sci-fi. It's not one that gets talked about a lot. I know that Mark Commode talks about it a lot. I think he says it's his favourite film. I think he's even written a book about it, which is interesting. But yeah, I struggle to get this back in the cellophane now, which might be an issue. I might have to cut some of this stuff of the video out, but oh no, there you go, not too bad. But yeah, Silent Running, fantastic release from Massive Cinema, and definitely one I recommend checking out. Spy number 23, and I think it is Region B Locked, yes, and it's from 1972. Next up we have a Shohei Imamura film I have seen. I've talked about it in my Japanathon, so if you want to hear more thoughts about it, go check out my Japanathon video. Spy number 24, The Ballad of Naru, fantastic film about an old woman, Orin, who lives in a village in the mountains. It's kind of set maybe like 150 years ago, something like that. And in this village, they need to keep the population down, and it's very strict. So when you reach 70, you must go up Mount Naruyama, the mountain next to the village, to die basically. You just go up there and just die. And so before she does it and takes this rite of passage, she has to kind of set the affairs of family in order. There's a lot of stuff that goes on. It's fantastically shot, looks amazing. They did it all on location. They spent a year making it, and it really shows. It's a brilliant film with some very deep stuff in it, but also a lot of fun stuff in it. It's very much a portrait of life, and I just fell in love with this film, and especially the last half hour is fantastic. From 1983, Region B Locked. And this has a new interview with scholar Tony Raines, which I watched and was very good, very informative. 4 Japanese theatrical trailers, which I also enjoyed. I've watched everything on this, and behind the scenes footage, which is in the trailers, and then the booklet itself, which I've also read because I just love this film so much. I instantly devoured everything about it. Blu-ray DVD. There we go. I love it when they have you know, kind of again the inside artwork, which just looks great. Again, I don't want to spend too much time taking everything out, because then this would just be like hours long. But then again, this is probably going to be at least an hour, if not an hour and a half long. But there you go, that's Spy number 25. We have another steelbook, The Touch of Evil, just Touch of Evil by Orson Welles. Big shout out to Vezius, who's a Patreon supporter, but also sent me this as a gift, I think last year. It was very generous. Again, really appreciate it, man. I actually bought this when it came out, and then sold it before I'd even watched it, in fact. And the thing was, I just needed money at the time. This is years ago now. I think when it came out in 2012. I was going on a trip and needed some extra money, so I just sold it, and then it went out of print. So yeah, he very kindly sent me this. So thanks again, man. I couldn't believe it when this turned up, and it was just in. He was like, "Oh, it's not in great condition, but it was perfect condition," you know. Love these steelbooks. I love the fact that the backs were always bare and they've got the title and stuff. It's kind of nice and classy. I'll open this up. It looks like the back of the steelbook is scratched, but it's actually the scratches on the cellophane. Yeah, no. So there you go. Beautiful matte finish on this steelbook. This film's fantastic, by the way. Orson Welles directs and stars in it. An amazing opening shot. Charlton Heston's also in this film, and great kind of slow burning kind of film. I really enjoyed it, and great booklet inside. Love that kind of original poster artwork that they've used, and you got some cool inside artwork. There's like I'll have to read the special features for this film because they're crazy. They really are. If I can find it in my massive cinema J-card collection here, we can see all those. We got nope. Where is it? Tell me I've still got it. Oh, it didn't have the J-card, of course. Vezia sent it to me. He didn't have the J-card, which is fine. But there's like lots of special features. There's like I think 3 versions of the film, like in different aspect ratios and all that kind of stuff. It's really in depth. I think it's just 2 Blu-rays, in fact. I'm pretty sure, because there's so much stuff, and they just went all out with this film. They went absolutely all out with it, and it really paid off because it's a fantastic release that I need to delve even further into, as a matter of fact. So yeah, spine number 25, Touch of Evil. We're 25 in. Well, not 25 because I haven't got all of them, but we're up to spine 25. Next, another steelbook. They released it a lot during this period. This is number 26, Lane Blacktop, a film by Monty Hellman. I love this. I reviewed this on the Blu-ray Brothers channel. I love that the back has this text as well, which kind of highlights the main characters, and it's just really cool and fits with the kind of 70s-ness of it. I do have the J-card somewhere, and it's a great film, but it's not for everyone, I don't think. It's a very kind of specific style to it, where it's very free, and people say, oh, is it like Easy Rider with cars? Not quite, but it is about just 2 characters, and then a 3rd character joins them, just driving around America basically. They're just gearheads basically, motorheads, and they got this car, and they're driving around, and they come across this other guy who's kind of the same as them, but he's kind of like an older guy, so there's kind of the generational gap there, and I just love the interaction with the characters. A lot of it is very just not much being said. It's just it's a very minimal film, but I absolutely loved it. I really did. This is from 1971. This is Region B locked. Loads of special features on this one. Original mono soundtrack, optionally newly remastered in 5.1, plus an optional music and effects track. Audio commentary by Monty Hellman and associate producer Gary Kurtz, who produced the Star Wars films. On the road again, Lane Blacktop revisited. Hellman, the director, revisits the film's locations, 43 minutes long. I think these are all from the Criterion release as well. Interview. Monty Hellman interviews Chris Christopherson, which is 28 minutes long, which is directed by Monty Hellman. Interviews with producer, production manager, director's son, also directed by Monty Hellman. A rare archival screen test footage of James Taylor and Laurie Bird, which is 26 minutes long. Original theatrical trailer, and of course we have the booklet and all that good stuff. I just felt like it was a lot of fun to just chill out and relax with these characters, and I believe that I can't remember who it is now. One of them is a musician. Another one's from the Beach Boys, I think. I don't know the ins and outs of it. I'd have to look it up again. But great release, great booklet inside, and then the steelbook with the artwork on the inside. There's another version of the poster there on the back of the booklet. Not one I'd say to people, oh, you have to go check it out for sure, but it's one that I was very pleasantly surprised with. And I saw this steelbook in HMV for years. I kept seeing it, well, not years maybe, but like at least a year. I'd always see it, and it was always like 25 quid, and I thought, 25 quid? Because they were always quite expensive in HMV at the time. But I actually really loved it when I actually sat down to watch it eventually. Next up, we have another steelbook. There's quite a few for the next bit. Spine number 30, this is Alfred Hitchcock's Lifeboat, which is all set on a lifeboat. So I haven't watched it yet, looking forward to it. I might include it as part of some kind of Hitchcock marathon, something like that. I am a big fan of Hitchcock, but there's definitely huge gaping gaps in my Hitchcock knowledge, or just the films of his that I've seen or haven't seen. Again, great kind of original artwork on the front there, on the front of the booklet there, and the artwork on the inside of the steelbook is the same as the front cover, so I won't bother showing you that. But yeah, I'm really interested in it. I love films that have that kind of concept that takes place. I think there's a slight dent on this one, which is a shame, but it's nothing too noticeable. I love films that have that kind of concept where they take place in one location or something like that, and it's all about the performances. So another one I'm, again, looking forward to see, but just cherishing, you know, the fact that I haven't seen it yet. You know, I'm weird like that, but I really like kind of savouring films in my collection until I'm ready to watch them and kind of enjoy what will no doubt be a film that I will love. So we have the J card here. It is Region B locked from 1944, this one, so a really old Hitchcock film. New high definition transfer, officially licensed from 20th Century Fox. A new high definition transfer of Hitchcock's Little Scene French language 1944 wartime films Bon Voyage and Aventure Malagache, I don't know how you pronounce that. The first one's 26 minutes, the other one's 32 minutes, so another hour of Hitchcock stuff, officially licensed from BFI. Optional English subtitles on all 3 films, a 20-minute documentary on the making of Lifeboat, a 12-minute excerpt from the legendary 1962 audio interviews between Francois Truffaut and Hitchcock discussing Lifeboat and the wartime shorts themselves, and of course the 32-page booklet. So another incredible release from Massive Cinema. Next we have Spy number 32. This is the Island of Lost Souls steelbook. And again, don't know too much about this one. I know it's from the 30s, I think. And again, the cover I saw in HMV a lot, and it always kind of like intrigued me, like, what is that? It looks really weird and disgusting, but I've heard very good things. I'm pretty sure Ian's a fan of this one, or he has the release anyway. So we've got the booklet inside, which is the same as the front cover, and then we have some odd inside artwork there. And I believe it's about, well, I'm not too sure actually. I should get the J card out and have a look. But another one that's, of course, I need to watch. And that might be frustrating. Some people watch this right now thinking, man, he just hasn't seen half of these films, so why is he even bringing them up and talking about them? Well, again, I guess I've already covered it at this point, but, you know, savouring them for when I get a chance to watch them properly. This one has a cardboard J card. So we have a Region B Blu-ray again. It's from 1932. Shipwrecked and adrift, Edward Parker finds himself a guest on Dr. Moreau's isolated South Seas island, but quickly discovers the horrifying nature of the Doctor's work and the origin of the strange forms inhabiting the island. A colony of wild animals reworked into humanoid form via sadistical surgical experiments. Wow. Okay, I didn't realise that was part of it, to be honest, so very interesting. A sterling appearance by Bela Lugosi, of course, the classic Dracula, as the half-beast, half-man, sayer of the law. So yeah, oh, the cinematographer is Carl Struss, or Strauss, I'm not sure how you pronounce that, who did Sunrise. So, oh, this must look great. Again, new high definition transfer, video interview with Charles Lawton biographer Simon Callow, exclusive video interview with film historian Jonathan Rigby, and original theatrical trailer. Not too many special features, but a really great steelbook for Island of Lost Souls. That's 32, and I think we're on to the next pile here. Yeah, this is 34, another steelbook, Cleopatra, coming at you. Oh, I can't believe I just said that. It is what it is. Right, where's the J card for this one? Of course it's right at the bottom, isn't it? No, it's not. I haven't got the J card for this one. Huh. It must be there somewhere. It must be. This is really annoying. I'm going to go have a look now. I'm going to turn the camera off again. Cannot find the J card, unfortunately. I'm sure I still have it. There's no reason I would have thrown it out, but nonetheless, a great looking steelbook. I love the artwork. I love the gold finish on it. Again, they're all matte steelbooks, and that always looks great. A couple of marks on the back because of the stupid glue they always put on the bloody J cards. More gorgeous artwork on the booklet, and on the inside. Haven't seen this film yet. Again, another one of those films, but it is by Cecil B. DeMille, who is one of those kind of acclaimed directors who I need to see more of his work, basically. So another one I'll be eagerly looking forward to whenever I get around to watching it. Fortunately, I can't speak to the special features, which I apologise for. I just can't find the J card, but I love the steelbook anyway. Moving on. That was number, what was it, 34? This is 36, and it is a very light release because it doesn't have the booklet with it. It is Igetsu Monogatari by Kenji Mizoguchi, of course. And this also features Oyu-sama, which is another film by him, which came out in 1951. But Igetsu Monogatari came out in 1953. An amazing Japanese film, absolutely haunting, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. One of the best Japanese films, I think, of the time, for sure. Great film. I'm not going to go too much into the details of the plot, but it's there's kind of a ghostly feel to it, basically. Kind of an otherworldly kind of thing going on, and I won't spoil too much about it, but a very great drama film. Video discussions about both films by filmmaker and, of course, Japanese film expert Tony Raines, and new and improved English subtitle translations, and archival trailers for Igetsu Monogatari, subtitled in English. So this is a great release. This is part of the the 8th film and 4 Blu-ray release, Late Mizoguchi, which is the big box set that's out of print now, and I have that. The box is back home with the 300-page book, which compiles all the stuff from all the booklets of these original releases, which are also out of print. So this one doesn't have the booklet; it just has the disc and the inside artwork. And yeah, you get some Monogatari. I can't say go pick it up because it's out of print now, but if you can see it in another way, or if you got the money to spend on the Late Mizoguchi set, which is fantastic, definitely a seminal Japanese film. The next one is the next part of the Mizoguchi Late Mizoguchi collection. Spine number 37. It features Gion Biashi, which is from 1953, and the main feature is from 1954, Sanjudea, which I also watched in my Japanese film marathon, Japanathon. If you want to check that out, I believe it was the last film I watched. Another amazing film, absolutely fantastic, really heartbreaking, moving story about a family that gets torn apart and sold off to slavery, and there's, you know, all sorts of stuff. It's an interesting film that's not really got a lot of hope in it, but you still kind of root for the characters and you hope that it goes and turns into a happy ending. I won't spoil if it is or not, but I definitely love the way it did end. And overall, another fantastic film from Mizoguchi. I definitely recommend that one as well to any fans of Japanese cinema or just classic films in general. Region B Lock, that one, and as are all in the Mizoguchi set. And there's the inside artwork there. What have we got? Let's take the disc out and have a proper look. Oh, it's the family travelling, I think, early on in the film. Try and get it without the glare. So yeah, I really did love the film. It's probably not one I'll rewatch many times because it is quite draining emotionally, but it's one that's is definitely one that will be watched many times for the rest of my life, I think. Right, moving on. This is the one. It's the first one I ever bought. As a matter of fact, it's a steelbook, and it's a film I saw on TV, loved it, had to get the steelbook, and this is, again, I bought this without really knowing what the Master Cinema range was, and it is Rumblefish. Fantastic film by Francis Ford Coppola. Is spine number 42, and it's got a great cast: Matt Damon, Mickey Rourke, Diane Lane, Dennis Hopper, Nicolas Cage, Chris Penn, Tom Waits, and it's a fantastic film in black and white. There's only one thing, well, I think there's two things that are in colour in the film. One of them is the Rumblefish themselves. I won't spoil too much about this, but it's a real kind of gritty kind of gang film, and actually the guy, Matt Dillon was actually great in this film. Not really a huge fan of him as an actor, but I thought he was great in this film. He's very young in this, and you can kind of tell the Rumblefish there. This is very hard to get in. I look at it without the glare, but there's the Rumblefish there in colour, and then the characters in the background in black and white. Just a very kind of grungy, gritty feel to it. It's just like, it just feels like, I don't know, it's just, there's something about it. And Mickey Rourke's character in it is very cool as well, and interesting. He's got some great lines of dialogue, and really did enjoy this film a lot. And I haven't watched it yet on Blu-ray, can you believe it? Yeah, I bought it 3 years ago because I love the film so much, and I still haven't watched it in high definition. Can't believe, I just tore the cellophane. Sorry, I could salvage that. There we go. And where is the J card? I definitely have the J card for this one. Wait, maybe I don't, because, oh my god, I don't believe it. I don't have the J card for this one either, because, again, I bought it 3 years ago. It's in my box of J cards back home. So I'm sorry, I can't attest to the special features either, but I think there's quite a few of them on there. Either way, Rumblefish, a very good film. Next we have a couple more steelbooks. This is spine number 43. I definitely have the J card for this one, I promise. It is the second of Fritz Lang's Medusa films, The Testament of Dr. Medusa, or Das Testament des Dr. Medusa. This is from 1933. Yeah, it is 1933, I know that for a fact, but I'll just get the J card anyway. Region B locked, and it is the sequel to Fritz Lang's 1922 film, Dr. Medusa des Spiele. And this one is a sound film again, and this is a great thriller, absolutely great thriller, better than the first Medusa film, which is a very long film. Something about the way he directed this was just brilliant, and the way the Medusa character is used in the film is much different than the first one as well. So it's almost a completely different kind of film, but there's some of the same genetic code in it. It also features the detective, or the inspector from M from 1931. It's the same character in this film and played by the same actor, who's great in both films. So it's kind of a weird kind of semi-double sequel, which is weird. I got great artwork on the booklet there. I'm not sure what the inside artwork was. I don't think it. Is there none on there? Hang on, try not to rip the booklet or anything. Oh yeah, yeah, great shot from the film there. If you've seen the film, you know what that's from. A great moment in the film. Some interesting special effects in this as well. And I'll get to the special features once I put the steelbook back in the thing. Yeah, I'd say not like one of Fritz Lang's absolute best, but definitely one of his most underrated films, I think. People don't talk about this too much. Special features wise, we have, let's get this in frame without the glare. We have newly translated English subtitles, feature-length audio commentary by Fritz Lang expert David Collette, and just the booklet really. But yeah, I'm sure the commentary is very good, and I don't know if I'll ever get around to listening to it, because there's so many commentaries I'd love to listen to, but it just never really ends up happening. Next we have Double Indemnity, a film by Billy Wilder. The only Billy Wilder film I've seen so far, and I absolutely loved it. Fantastic film noir, classic 40s Hollywood. It has such a feeling of Hollywood and Los Angeles, and classic kind of noir stuff. Absolutely love it. Brilliant two lead performers here, the actor and actress, Fred MacMurray and Barbara Stanwyck. Just love this film so much. I think I talked about this in my Unseen Classics marathon, which I posted on my channel here this year. Great booklet, great release, Blu-ray only, and there's a shot of the two main characters in the grocery store there, which is really cool, and a nice scene in the film. But I just love the suspense in this. I love the characters. I love the kind of the chemistry between the two lead actors is fantastic, and the way the story is told as well. It kind of pretty much opens with the ending, which I always love films that do that if they do it right, and this one does it right. And so you're always kind of wondering, how are we going to get to where the film ends at the beginning, if you know what I mean, which is interesting. Special features wise, Region B Locked. The film's from 1944. Hold it up again. We have audio commentary by film historian Nick Redman and screenwriter Lem Dobbs. Shadow of Suspense, a 2006 making-of documentary. 1945 Screen Guild Theatre radio adaptation of Double Indemnity, starring Barbara Stanwyck and Fred MacMurray. That's interesting. Original trailer, optional music and effects track, and of course the booklet as well. More steelbooks. Yes, steelbooks up the ass. We have number 45 in the collection. Is another Billy Wilder film, back-to-back in the collection. And it is one I haven't seen yet, and it is The Lost Weekend. I'm sure Ian said that this will be him in 20 years or something, which is kind of funny, but I'm sure not true. I love the artwork there. I always think of Batman when I see that on the top there. But really cool artwork. Let's take a look on the inside. I'm glad I have opened up these steelbooks. It's nice to just look at them myself every now and again, because usually they're just on the shelf in the cellophane, not the cellophane, the plastic bags, the protective sleeves. You've got the booklet there. I'm sure this is about a guy who's an alcoholic, and I again don't know too much about it. The inside artwork is really dark. Well, you can kind of see it. It's nice nonetheless. Another one I've been told, I think by James Merchant as well, I have to see. And again, judging from Double Indemnity, I'm sure that I'm going to love it, because I love that film so much. If it's anything like that in terms of tone, style, and direction, writing, then I definitely will love Lost Weekend. And what does this one have in terms of these special features? All the J cards are falling down, but I still have this one. Alright. We have a lot of stuff. New video introduction by Alex Cox, 3-part 1992 program Billy, How Did You Do It? Featuring blah 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 blah. There's just loads of stuff about Billy Wilder basically. 1946 Screen Guild Theatre radio adaptation again, which I believe stars, I don't know if it does star the Jane Wyman, Ray Milland. Yeah, it stars the lead actor and actress as well, the radio adaptation. And then the original theatrical trailer, and I guess a lot of this is just talking about the booklet, so still a good amount of special features on this one, spine number 45, and I'm coming to the end of the space on my memory card. I've still got loads to go. I'm going to soldier on. This is going to be an epic video, but who cares, because it's Massive Cinema and they're epic as well. Number 46, this is one of my favourite films, my top 50 favourite films of all time. Another Fritz Lang film, not my favourite again, we'll get to that soon in the collection. Die Nibelungen. Epic film from 1924, a 2-part odyssey. It's like nearly 5 hours long, and it's this huge fantasy sprawling epic about this guy called Siegfried. The first film was called Siegfried, and he basically slays this big dragon, and he goes off to to find, you know, to marry the queen and marry the princess and all that kind of stuff. Very fantasy oriented, but it reminded me a lot of Game of Thrones as well. A lot of the plotting and the, you know, that kind of stuff, and the mind games, but then the action and the spectacle of the fantasy. And I just loved so much about this film. I watched it in one day, and it just didn't bore me at all. Almost 5 hours long. It's 282 minutes. Just incredible, and just seeing what Fritz Lang was able to do with this. One of the final battles at the end is just breathtaking. An amazing film. If you've got the stomach for it, definitely check it out. I mean, you could even watch this over like 4 days. Watch like, again, because it's 2 films. It's part 1, Siegfried, and part 2, Kriemhild's Revenge, and they're all split up into like parts as well, which a lot of these early big silent films are, like, you know, part 1, part 2, part 3. They're like chapters basically. And again, I've reviewed this, I think, in my silent movie marathon from last year, which I posted on my channel this year. It was originally a Blu-ray Brothers special. Here we have, again, 1080p transfer. It looks fantastic in its original frame rate and original aspect ratio. New adaptation and recording of Gottfried Hubbert's score, presented in both stereo and 5.1. New 72-minute documentary on the restoration of the film, which I haven't watched yet, and the booklet as well. And it just looks fantastic. I think it's a better transfer than the Kino video release, from what I've heard. And you have 2 Blu-rays. I'll spin the discs around so you can have a good look at the artwork. You have 2 Blu-rays, part 1, Siegfried there, and part 2, Kriemhild's Revenge there as well. And you've got some inside artwork as well from a key moment in the film, which I won't show you because it spoils stuff, so I'm not going to show you that. But it's an amazing film, and there's something else I wanted to say about it, actually. Let me think. I know Ryan Chatway has seen this and likes it. Oh yeah, no. I thought I hadn't read the special features. It is Region B locked. There's something else I wanted to say about it. I've forgotten what it is now. It's lost my head because Connie just walked in. Let me think. Deanie Belonging. There's something I wanted to say about it. I just don't know what it is. Yeah, it's very much like Lord of the Rings at times, Game of Thrones, that kind of thing. There's something I wanted to mention about it. Is it because I was talking about the documentary, maybe? The score? I don't know. It's going to bug me now. I'm going to turn the camera off, and I'm going to try and think about what it is, and I'll come back. Yeah, no, all it was, I was just going to say that they, I did read the review on DVD Beaver, and they maxed out the bitrate on the both Blu-rays for this. So I love the fact that they put both parts onto separate Blu-ray discs and just like almost like 45 gig on each disc. So it's the best you'll probably ever see this film until, I don't know, like when they do ridiculous like 100k transfers or something like that. But it's well worth. It was well worth them doing, I think, because it's a fantastic film. And I think each part is like 2.5 hours, something like that, roughly. So yeah, the next one is Spy number 50. This is The Passion of Joan of Arc, which is an incredible release for an incredible film. I definitely would say that the performance here by, I forget her name, was it Renee Falconetti or Marie, something like that. There's quite a few different kind of reports on what her actual name was. Renee Maria Falconetti. I believe it is her only film performance. Actually, I'll get to talking about her when I take the steelbook out. This is a steelbook version. You can get it with the Amaray as well, and it comes like this. Now, I saw the steelbook for years like this, just like that, or maybe about a year, I guess. And I thought, you know, this doesn't look that great as a steelbook cover. Didn't realize it came in this epic release. It's got a 100-page book inside, and it also has the steelbook. I've got to very carefully shake it out, and there we go. So it's a very hard cardboard box like that. And you've got all the special features on the back, and there's the spine, number 50. So they went all out with the 50th release, and the book is just incredible. It's huge, you know, and it's got so much stuff in it. Just brilliant. Absolutely comprehensive. Oh, I got a great shot there of Falconetti in the film. Very harrowing. Now the film itself, again, really hinges on her central performance. Love that steelbook as well. No title, just no titles needed. It's just fantastic. And it also you got another shot of her on the back, and when you open it up, I love how the back and the spine link. I just love that little detail there. But this film is a hard film to watch. It's got Blu-ray and DVD there, 3 discs, because it's all about Joan of Arc. If you know the story, then you know the story. If you don't, you don't. But she gets pulled into this kind of court basically, and they're trying to judge whether they should kill her or not, you know, burn her at the stake kind of thing. And it's a true story, and again, I don't want to speak too much to it because I don't know the full facts or the full story or anything like that, but the way it's presented is very harrowing and heartbreaking, as I've already said, but it's all about her performance, and I believe it's her only film performance ever, and I believe that she died very young, and she had mental issues as well, and you can see that in the film. It's almost too convincing a performance. I mean, most of the film is extreme close-up on her face, reacting to everything, and the way that she refuses to, again, it's been a while since I've seen it, about a year, but she's refusing to basically take the easy way out and kind of say what they want her to say, as they kind of put her on trial, and she stays true to, I think that she says that she saw a vision of God, something like that, and that really offends them, basically. They're all like Christians and stuff, and very interesting themes, but it's all about her performance, and it's just one of the most raw, powerful, I think, acting performances in film history, and definitely worth checking out if you're serious about kind of watching all the classics. It wasn't one that I enjoyed that much because of how bleak it is. I definitely need to give it another watch, but it was, you know, undeniably one of the best films ever made, I think. I would say maybe like top 50, one of the best films ever made, that kind of thing. There's so much stuff on here as well. I mean, it's presented in both 20 frames per second and 24 frames per second. Optional audio tracks, because originally I think this is supposed to be watched completely silently with no music, which is again directed by Carl Theodor Dreyer. There's optional audio tracks, a piano score performed by Japanese silent film composer Miya Yanashita for the 20 frames per second option, a radical accompaniment by esteemed American avant-garde art musician Lauren Connors for the 24 frames per second version. So already you have like 4 different ways to watch the film, and I think there's another one as well. I'm sure that there's 5 ways to watch it, if I remember. Oh yeah, the complete low douche version of the film. The version which features an alternate edit and soundtrack that circulated in France and around the world for decades before the rediscovery of Dreyer's director's cut. So 5 pretty much ways to watch the film. Video demonstration of the restoration, and of course the 100-page book as well. Just an amazing blowout release from Master Cinema for their 50th release. Next we have a film that I will be covering in my Silent Film Marathon 2, which will be at some point this year when I have the time to do it. It is from 1915, and it is a very controversial film, The Birth of a Nation, by D.W. Griffiths. Lincoln's assassination, the fatal blow that robbed the South of its best friend. You see kind of the scene of Lincoln's assassination there, but apparently there's a lot of racist kind of stuff going on in the second half of this film, and it is very politically incorrect. Don't know too much about it because I want to just check it out and just see it for myself, and I'm very, very much interested in seeing what it's like. Music by the Mont Alto Motion Picture Orchestra in DTS HD Master Audio, 2.0 Stereo, 5.1 Surround. Short archival introductions to the film by D.W. Griffith and Walter Houston, which I'm really interested in seeing what they'll be like. 1930 re-release title sequence of the film, and 7 Civil War short films directed by Griffith. In the Border States from 1910, The House with the Closed Shutters, also 1910, The Fugitive from 1910, His Trust 1911, His Trust Fulfilled 1911, Swords and Hearts from 1911, and The Battle from 1911, and a 1983 documentary on the making of the film. So another all-out release. And we got the booklet and disc on the inside there. I haven't seen the inside artwork actually. Let's take a look at that, see what that's like. Oh, it's just the chapter listings, and then we have an epic poster behind the disc. I really like that. So yeah, interested to see. I mean, if you just look at the disc artwork, you can probably see where the controversy is coming from. But yeah, so I'm actually running out of space on my memory card now, so I thought I'd be able to do this on one memory card. I'm not, so I'm going to have to transfer all the footage off and then come back and record some more. There's about 20, if not 25 more Blu-rays to go.